You're watching Oilers Nation Everyday with Tyler Yaremchuk. Your one-stop shop for all things Oilers.
Friday of a long weekend. Oilers already in the Western Conference Final. Mattias Ekholm potentially back in round 3. Let's get into it with the lead. I mean, come on, who's got it better than us right now? There's no fan base that has it better than the Edmonton Oilers right now.
Leafs. Oh.
Whoop. Oh, Leafs?
Timber.
Sky's falling.
Oh. I think the Leafs got eliminated last game. The first team to actually be eliminated from the playoffs when the other team only won 3 games.
If you watch Leafs Morning Take, for sure.
Yeah, the Leafs Leafs only play best of 5s. Everyone else is a best of 7, but according to Leafs fans, they just play best of 5. Welcome into Oilers Nation Everyday, live from the Sports Closet studio. From jerseys to hats to the legendary foam finger, you'll find it all and more at the Sports Closet. We are also a presentation of Bet365. Download the app today. Just go Nation, whatever the moment. It's never ordinary at Bet365. Our YouTube chat is alive and well. YouTube chat. I mean, let's just keep rolling here. It's brought to you by Odd Company Brewing and the all-new Nation Beer Everyday Lager, a crisp, clean lager crafted not just for game day, but for every day. Pick up a flat or head down to Odd Company, the patio in their Ritchie location, the pizza at their Ritchie location. Whew. It's all 10 out of 10. It is a great way to kick off a long weekend. Go have a crispy cold one out on their patio. Liam, we got a compliment in the chat.
Did we now?
Jeff Skinner said, Tyler, I like your shirt.
That's not we. That's you.
Well, you're wearing
didn't even notice.
You're wearing the same shirt.
It's a great shirt. I like the idea.
Pink Pony Club. How about Oily Boy Club? Available now, nationgear.ca. That's what the back of the shirt looks like. The front of the shirt, you can see because Liam and I face the cameras.
Oh, yeah.
We do have one on there. That's the back of the Oil Up tee. There you go. There's that Oily Boy. They came in today. There's a whole box of them in the office. So I'm assuming that means we're going to have them up at our next pop-up shop in Greta. Giddy up.
Who knows when that game will be? Who knows who we'll face? But we'll win.
There will be shirts.
And there'll be shirts.
Northside Norm said
he's dancing down at the Greta Bar with your Oily Boy Club shirts.
We'll workshop that a little bit.
You know what? Keep it going. Shout out Greta Bar Yeg. We can check that
there we
one
go.
off as well.
Just because there's no games this weekend doesn't mean you can't go down to Greta Arcade Bar Street Food. They know how to have a good time. Again, game day or not, Greta is going to be rocking on a weekend. Man, it's just we're kicking off the show with Jason Demers.
Fun fact, Greta all weekend long, because they thought they were going to be doing playoffs, they've got $5 drink deals from 7 p.m. to midnight for 5 hours for both Saturday and Friday. It's like $5 everything. Playoffs.
Go grab a Budweiser.
Oh,
Get another one in.
Knocked out 6 ad reads in the first 4 minutes of the show. Boom, 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 boom.
Paying the bills.
All right. We're also okay. We are going to be joined. JD's going to be on the show right off the jump here. He should be on any minute now. We're going to talk to our friend Jason Demers. He's here.
He's here.
Did someone say a 7th ad read in the first 5 minutes? Star Mechanical Guest Line, Edmonton's #1 plumbing and heating company. You can find out what makes them one of Edmonton's largest locally owned companies, one of Edmonton's best locally owned companies, by visiting them online at starmechanical.ca. Our ad guy Trevor has the Friday off, so surely he won't notice we did all of this in the first 6 minutes of the show. But Jason Demers joins us on the guest line. JD, what's going on? Oh, he's got...
Little Donna Summers hot stuff. Come on, boys. The Oilers. They're hot. They're hot. And I look like a goddamn idiot.
Well, I mean, listen, you're not in the minority of people who didn't think this Oilers team had this kind of a turnaround in them. To be fair, like, we believe because it's in our DNA, we can our contracts that we have to believe in the Oilers at every turn. But like, man, the way they've just flipped the switch and started looking like a cup contender from game 3 of the King series onward, it's incredible. Like they're 9-1 in their last 10 playoff games.
It's crazy that one bad goaltender interference call and one perfectly placed pinch by Evan Bouchard could lead this team this far into the playoffs. And I mean, I tweeted when they knocked out LA, this team's so resilient. And I mean, every moment of this playoff so far is like resiliency is the word that keeps coming up with. As far as they go to Kasperi Kapanen, coming into the lineup, being an absolute truck stick, killing everybody, scoring the series clinching goal. Stuart Skinner thinking he was done, coming back off of an injury, an unlucky injury to Calvin Pickard, pitching 2 shutouts. It's this team is just all resiliency all day. And you know, what they learned from last year's cup run, I think, has served them so well. And they have just seemed calm in the moment where, you know, years past they weren't. And it's a testament to this leadership group, this veteran leadership group that they have, and this group of guys that they believe and will themselves to kind of get back into these series. And I mean, they steamrolled Vegas. Like that wasn't even a series. Like Vegas, that one, it should have been a sweep if not for Riley Smith going God mode in game 3, or it was a 3 or 4. But yeah, it's crazy, man. This team is a team. I keep seeing your tweets, your dumbass tweets all the time. Team of destiny. But it feels that way. It feels like, and here's the thing though, for Oilers fans, I've been lucky. I've picked against the Oilers the last 2 rounds. I'm going to keep with that trend. Whoever they play, I'm picking against them to selfishly have them prove me wrong once again. So whoever plays Dallas or Winnipeg's winning the next series, because I'm keeping it that way. I don't want to mess up the juju and come on the bandwagon, which I've kind of been I've wanted this team to win since last year, and they're doing everything right, man. Everything right.
Yeah. Also, I love that you admit that to us. So at least the real ones in our chat, when they're watching you on the NHL Network and you're talking about how Dallas or Winnipeg are going to move through, they'll know. Real ones will know, JD. What surprised you the most about that series against Vegas? Like, I mean, there is an element as well of like Pietrangelo. They had a lot of guys, Pietrangelo, Eichel, that looked like bad in that series. But what surprised you the most about the way Edmonton picked them apart?
Physicality. I mean, to begin and end with that. And obviously you can go back to the constant theme with Edmonton is when they don't win, it's because of their depth. Well, everybody that's been shit talking their depth for years needs to zip it because this depth has carried this team for majority of this playoffs. Like, we haven't really seen a vintage Connor Leon game yet, but they've been good. They haven't been bad, but the depth has been so good. I mean, what can you say about Evander Kane coming in off his injury? And, you know, if you look back to last year, if he was healthy, I mean, I think they win the cup last year. He just wasn't able. And I said it at the start of the playoffs, and people kind of, I think you posted that video when I talked about Evander Kane at the start of the playoffs being an X factor. And some idiot Oilers fan was like, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about, this stupid hits. Like, Evander Kane hasn't done anything. And I'm like, look at me now, baby girl. Look at me now. He has been very good, very effective, scoring goals. I mean, just pissing off the other team. And that was the biggest theme, I thought, is there was a switch that flipped in Edmonton in that LA series where they just became mean. They became a little borderline dirty. They're yelling at the refs. They're yelling at the benches. Guys are running into goalies. Like, they've just started to make it really hard for the other team. And it's worked. Like, they got a little Florida Panthers in them right now of like just an FU attitude. And that's kind of what I think we've all wanted to see from this Oilers team is like, you got these 2 superstars and they're a big team. Like, they're a sneaky big team up front. Like, start leaning on some teams. And, you know, they're doing that in spades. And if you look down the lineup, like, who could you really say has like struggled? No one. Everybody's done their job. Everybody's done their role. Guys have stepped in. You look on the back end. I mean, Brett Kulak's been incredible. Darnell Nurse has played well. Troy Stetcher comes in and, you know, moves the puck very well last game against Vegas, the last 2 games. And then you look at John Klingberg coming back from this injury that we're like, his career's done. This is a flyer by the management staff there of Jackson and Bowman and in Edmonton. And he's been great. He's moved the puck very well. He hasn't been a liability defensively. Jake Wallman, which I thought was an overpay, has been a breath of fresh air defensively as well. And I thought he's been using his legs to perfection. So it's hard to come on here and have any complaints because I think this is like such a well-balanced lineup. The only thing you could really say is poor Jeff Skinner. But he got his game and he's on his way to get a ring in his first playoffs. But, poor him and because I don't know if you could really argue of him ever coming back into this lineup with the way they're playing, unless there's some massive injuries. But yeah, man, it's fun to watch this team. And, when I look back at that series, I think not enough credit goes to the Minnesota Wild. Like the Minnesota Wild took their pound of flesh in that series against Vegas.
Fair.
Like they beat them up. So they came into this already a little bit injured. Like I don't think Pietrangelo was close to 100%. He looked like he couldn't move out there. And you look up, I think Eichel was kind of by himself a little bit because, Tomas Hertl didn't have a great series and Ivan Barbashev had a worst playoffs that he could have possibly had comparatively to the last couple of years. So yeah, they just outworked him, outskilled him, outwilled him. And it's a scary team, Edmonton, when they're going downhill. Like it's scary. And you look at, if I'm Dallas, I'm hoping, and they don't have a great record clinching. They always like to seem to wait till the 11th hour to finally put a team away, and because they got Pete DeBoer as Mr. Game 7. But if they let Winnipeg hang around and go to 7 and tire themselves out anymore, I mean, I could see Edmonton walking all over them too.
How much credit do you give to Chris Knobloch for his lineup changes? Obviously, bringing in guy like Kapanen and Stetcher, like you said, and also too, he just matched Draisaitl with Eichel those last 2 games and just absolutely eliminated him. Like I feel like he's not getting enough credit for the differences he's made in these 2 series too.
Yeah, he is a calm, cool, collected bastard, isn't he? He just the way he talks and I truly believe he believes that to his core when he talks about taking it game by game and staying present. And he doesn't waver. He hasn't seemed like he gets kind of distracted by the media or the fan base. He kind of runs his race. And I think that's been the best case scenario for this team because he makes those decisions. Obviously, I'm sure he consults with his coaching staff, but when he makes a decision, he sticks to it and he doesn't waver from it regardless of the outcome. So I think he's been very good for this team. And, a lot of credit goes to Jay Woodcroft too. Jay Woodcroft brought in a good framework, but I think Knobloch has just been that coach to take him over the top. And, even when they were playing bad in the season this year, he just knows kind of how to push the right buttons and understands what this team needs. But I truly do think, a lot of credit goes to Knobloch, but you just sometimes have these teams that figure it out, and you can put me back there behind the bench and they're going to find ways to win and find ways to kind of be effective no matter what, because this belief is so deep in that room. And it's led by Connor and Leon right now. Like Connor looks like he's going to rip your face off every night and he's on a mission. Like that first period of a clinching game where it's the first period, they're up 3-1 in the series and he almost kills himself on a back check. Should be shown to every kid, every captain, every youth player coming up to show you that, like, hey, you think you don't have to work once you're one of the best in the league? No, you have to put on your boots, lift up your pants, get to work, get to grind. I don't even know what that analogy was. That was horrible, but you just have to work, and he doesn't take anything for granted. So it's like a credit to him and this team. And I have no notes, as they say, no notes, all positive.
I love to. Connor McDavid. I don't think he cracked a smile once. Maybe once he skated off the ice in Vegas, and then like doing his media, he was just like stern, calm, very much and we've always done this bit here, but the Kobe Bryant, like job's not done, job's not finished. That's really the mindset I'm getting from McDavid, and honestly Draisaitl as well, who's done a lot of the whole like my stats don't matter. I care about one thing here.
I mean and again, he's right. Like. And I think we media and people that watch Edmonton from the outside view that don't always watch them consistently go like, this team can't defend. If they lose, it's because they're not defending. They're just only offense. And I think it's pissed him off. dating back to last year of like, I've answered this question. Like, we can defend. Like, it's not a question of, it's like they've shut out Vegas 2 games in a row. That should shut everybody up. They went against LA and they figured out how to tighten the screws and make sure that they played a good, solid game defensively. Yeah, they give up chances, but man, look at Evan Bouchard right now. Evan Bouchard is playing fantastic defensively. He's on the PK. Listen, like, what can you can't argue. Like, this team defends. Like, I think we get lost a little bit because the mistakes they do make are big at times, but their offense is kind of their defense, but they've found a way to be really strong in their own end and commit to defense. And that goes that's a big credit to that team because they didn't do that for years. And they kind of finally locked in last year when they went on that 16-game winning streak. And it just seems like they've had that mentality ever since. It leaves them at times, but man, this playoffs, they put on a defensive, a very good, for the goaltending, and which has been good for them, but for the goaltending they've had, which isn't like stud number 1 goalies, they've done great defensively in front of them. And this goaltending duo has stepped up when they needed to.
Knobloch said today that Ekholm could come back as early as game 3. What do you do there? Like, who do you take out? Like, we basically talked about every single player and how well they're all playing. Like, it's a very difficult decision, but is it just as easy as being like, hey, Klingberg or Stetcher, you're just out of the lineup?
I was going to say, I do think, JD, a lot of people would jump to the Stetcher thing immediately because, like, he was the guy who got brought in. But the way him and Nurse work together, like, there might be a case for Klingberg to come out.
Yeah, it depends on what you're looking for, and could they maybe go to 11-7? I don't know at one point, but I feel like those 4 lines are pretty good. Bring up the lines again. I always like to take a peek at. Bring up the lines again. Attaboy. I mean, yeah, it's like you take out. I mean, maybe you take out Kasperi Kapanen or Pod Colson, and you throw an Ekholm and you make it 11-7. I don't know. That's above my pay grade. I would probably not want to touch this D-court, but here's the thing. Game 3 is a long ways away, and a lot can happen in games 1 and 2. And I usually foresee that it plays itself out as it should. And I'm sure somebody will have potentially a game that isn't their best. But again, if they're up 2-0 in the series, I mean, what do you do? Like, it is Mattias Ekholm. He makes your team better. But if you're steamrolling Dallas, do you wait till a loss? I mean, there's also that. As a coaching staff, and as a player, as Mattias Ekholm, who I'm sure wants to get back in the lineup, but if he's looking at that, being like, these guys are humming, I'll come in when it's, when I'm needed. But I think he's definitely needed. He's a stud defenseman. I think him and Bush are good together, but there's a world in which you can start him, on the bottom pair with Jake Wallman and just kind of have that as your 5-6, a little bit like if you look at the way Dallas is kind of bringing in Heiskanen, it's the same way. Like, they're kind of going 11-7. They're waiting him in. He's playing like 15, 16 minutes a night. They could potentially do that for the first game back and then go from there because, you don't want to throw him into the fire. It's tough coming back. It's tough playing in the playoffs. It's tough coming back into the playoffs. In round 3, high stakes, and you have not played one playoff game. Like, that's difficult coming off an injury with your timing. So I'm assuming they'll probably go 11-7.
Yeah, that's fair, especially with kind of the little bits we know about the Ekholm injury where, I don't think he's going to be 100% no matter when he comes back, if he comes back still in these playoffs. So maybe it is more of if you're up 2-0, to your point, JD, if you're up 2-0, leave him there and then break glass in case of emergency later. But if it's working, no need to try to, squeeze Ekholm into a lineup that's playing well when you're only getting him at 75, 80%. Yeah,
and that's a tough thing as a coach to do. How much do you tinker with a lineup? And if you're up 2-0, does bringing him in make it where you're going to sweep the team that you're playing, or is it that's for me the hardest part of a coach bringing in an injured guy when a team is playing really well. That's the hardest thing you can do because you have to just find a way to make it work, and somebody's going to be pissed off.
Who do you think they face, Dallas or Winnipeg then? You keep saying Dallas. I'm assuming you're leading Dallas.
Well, unless Winnipeg wins on the road, which they've proven that it's like an episode of Severance and it's the innies and outies. I don't know what happens to this team when they go over the border, but they lose their minds. So I kind of have to lean, it's like you're on the roulette table and it keeps going red. Are you the asshole that bets black, or do you just keep letting it ride? And that's where I'm at with them on the road. I have to go Dallas until they prove otherwise. Just like I have to go Florida unless Toronto proves to me that they can do this and win tonight. So it's just kind of like, that's where it is with why I keep saying Dallas. I'm like, they went up 3-1. I'm like, it's probably over. You give Jake Ottinger 3 chances to close you out, and you got Pete DeBoer, Mr. Game 7. This team seems I keep saying Heiskanen is like you could see game 1. I didn't love his puck possession, and his stats weren't great. And game 2, he looked a little bit better, started to move up the ice. He had about 4 or 5 scoring chances. I think he's just getting to that point where he might have a breakout game in the next 2 games, and that'll be kind of all she wrote for Winnipeg. But we'll see.
2 things. Chat loves your Severance reference. We do as well. The other thing.
Yeah, I'm glad, because it's kind of one of those you don't want to leave that. It's a bit, if it's just no one's watched it. But I feel like Connor Hellebuyck gets on the plane and he goes to US, and it's like, and then it's like, I don't know how to play hockey anymore.
Okay, question number 2. I'm going to run you through a hypothetical because I'm fascinated by your answer to this. You walk up to a roulette table. You have not played 1 spin yet. It's been 6 straight reds. You go red again?
See, I'm the asshole that goes black.
Yeah, me too.
Stays for like 20, and I keep doubling my bet, and then I just leave and go home. And then as soon as I get off the table, red. Not red. As soon as I get off the table, it's black for 12.
Black again.
And I'm like, that's why I go to the wrong casinos.
I'm definitely the guy. Like, the board means nothing. Every spin is random, but I'm the guy who sits there and studies it. I'm like, okay, it has been first 12 in about 6 spins, probably a smart one. I like to feel smart when I'm in those situations, even though it's pointless.
Well, my bet to get me going to start is first 12. I bet first 12, second 12, and then I bet like 2 of the 3 lines. So it's like only like 4 numbers can hurt you. And
just warm up a little.
Well, it's like because if you bet first 12 and second 12, it's 3-1, and then you bet like 1 line, and it's like you can win a little bit, you don't win a ton, but then if you miss, you lose a lot. But you're only you're betting on like 4 numbers to not kill you. So you need 4 numbers to not happen.
Yeah, you see one go through the hoop. I like that mindset.
Yeah, and then by that time, I'm betting on Tijuana dog racing at fucking 6 in the morning after.
Are you betting on the Leafs to keep their series going tonight, or are you like every Leafs fan who's like, well, we're fucked?
The Leafs fans could not have worse energy, and
it's embarrassing.
So, I shit talked that lower bowl so hard in Toronto, and they go in on, especially for Game 5, and they go in, and the Toronto Maple Leafs lay one of the worst eggs you can see. Of like, it looked like they all had mono, and now they're going there, and it's again, you look at the betting odds, which is crazy. It's like minus 240 for Florida, which is wild. So everybody and their mother thinks Toronto's dead in the water. It's just kind of, I don't know what's going on there. And I mean, I think, again, you look at, Mike Rupp was like, you look at that like leadership group there in Toronto, and you put him against you look at the last kind of few you look at the teams that are left in the playoffs and their leadership groups, and like McDavid would tear those guys, he would tear those guys' faces off. Like Leon Draisaitl would grab, and I love these guys. I think they're unbelievable players, but Leon and Connor Jamie Benn and Lindell Heiskanen, they would tear their faces off, and that's where they need to just get some respect back in the series and try to win at the same time, which is tough. They needed the last 15 minutes of that game when it was kind of out of hand, where somebody should have just two-handed somebody in the face. If I'm Austin Matthews, I'm just saying, fuck it, and I'm just two-handed Kachuk in the face, just like Jamie Benn sucker punched Scheifele last night.
This might be I dead ass, that's where I was going next. And this might be a dumb fan question of me, but I was always of the belief that part of the code was if a guy's hugged up by a linesman, you don't punch him. Ben slips that one. Is it also kind of understood that in the playoffs, some of that code shit just kind of gets pushed off to the side?
Well, apparently I'm going to the network after this, and apparently Scheifele kind of kicked him or was pushing him off with his feet, and that's what Jamie Benn snapped underneath. Oh, look at you guys, Johnny in the spot.
There you go.
Before he punches him. It's like they're on the ground, muscled up, and apparently Scheifele was like maybe pushing himself off, and his skate kind of got close to Jamie, and it doesn't take much for Jamie's eyes to roll in the back of his head. And I just think he took it into his own hands. So I have to go back and watch it and get an ISO of it. But he looked like so pissed off, Jamie too. And if you watch the play leading up to before they're on the ground, like they're kind of just jostling. And then they get down on the ground and Scheifele kind of moves off of him, and then Jamie snaps. So I was wondering if he thought, I don't think Scheifele was trying to kick him, but I think maybe he might have thought that. And then gave him the old left jab right in the kisser. Pow! Right in the kisser. But I love that shit. Like that's like playoffs. This captain on captain crime. I'll allow it. You know, if it's somebody else, you know, if it's Jamie going after a Kyle Connor or something, I'm not as, you know, happy about it, but I just think it's great. Look, they were playing awful, Dallas, and Jamie Benn just took matters in his own hands and said, you know what, I got to try to change the momentum of this. And that's what like Toronto needed. But, you know, Jamie Benn's a dog. So
one other one from the chat here. Thoughts on Kenny Holland going to a division rival?
If you can't beat him, sign the guy that put them together.
I guess. The only thing that's pissing me off about this, and listen, I love John Buccigross, but he did the little like ominous tweet of, oh, the Kings are going to sign McDavid next summer. Good goddamn Lord. Could we stop with that?
Yeah, but that's, you know, it's little gamesmanship. But yeah, that's what I heard. Connor signing in LA. Chat, get it. No, yeah, I think, listen, I love that pickup. I think Kenny Holland is proven he's got a really good track record, and I think he knows I was surprised at the Jim Hiller move, but I know he's a very loyal guy, and I think he's going to give Jim Hiller an opportunity to start the year. So, and I think he noted that they had a good conversation. It's just going to be what they bring in. I think their decor needs to get much better. I think they need to go find a 1C because, you know, Anze Kopitar at this age, he can play as a 1C, but I think they need to go really find some legitimacy up there. And I know Kempe has been great. Fiala's been great. Quentin Byfield's coming alive, so maybe he's a potential to do it, but and take that next step. But, you know, they have some pieces in place, and I just think they were one call away from being up 3-0. And, you know, who knows how that series would have shaped out and kind of played out just the way we're watching Edmonton play. Like, they could have came back down 3-0 the way they're playing right now. But yeah, I just think there needs to shore up the decor first and foremost and figure out what they do with Doughty and Kopitar in the long term, because, you know, do you want to run it back with them one more year? Do you want to maybe get something for them? I don't know. So that's going to be a lot of decisions within the room. But I think Kenny Holland is a what I say. I think it's a safe bet by LA. I think it's you know what you're going to get. It's not like taking a swing, because I don't know if they need to bring in some radical new guy that's going to, like a Dubas, like that kind of style, one of the young upstarts, because the team's kind of already close to there. And if you look at this team, like if LA played Vegas, I think they beat Vegas. And I believe that. I think just the fact that they got Edmonton the last 4 years has been the biggest, you know, problem for them every year. They just cannot match up against Edmonton. And you put them in a lot of these other playoff series, like I think they would have beat Minnesota, and I think they would have beat Vegas, you know, maybe not as handedly as Edmonton, but they would have beat them. I just think LA was very good, and Edmonton's just better. And unfortunately, it's just a bad matchup. And that's, you know, I have a bone to pick with the seeding. And I think the seeding really, I always think the second round isn't as good as the first round, because the playoff seeding makes it so the first round is just absolute wars, and then it slows down before the conference final. I would love to go back to 1 versus 8 and just let's get back to the normal format that I think will give some different matchups, because you look at an LA and they just got kind of fucked by being in the Pacific. Pardon my French.
No, that's fair. The Oilers and Kings, if it was 1v8, they would not have gotten each other in the first round in any of the last 3 years. It all would have been different. So you raise a good point. It would give the playoffs some different looks. All right, we kept you long. We always appreciate your time.
Jesus, I got to work.
I know. I looked. I'm like, holy shit, it's past 12:30 already. But appreciate your time. The Oilers won, so that means 2 more weeks of you coming on with us and 2 more weeks of you dealing with, you called them my dumbass tweets. They're not going to stop. I love it. See you, JD. Is he playing himself off like at the Oscars when something goes wrong? There goes Jason Demers on the Star Mechanical guest line. His appearance also brought to you by Tourism Jasper this summer. Find your happy place in Jasper. Jasper is open, vibrant, and ready to welcome you back for more unforgettable moments. So drive over, play outside, soak up the fresh air, enjoy some food and drink, and maybe even stay up late. Your best summer memories aren't behind you. They're waiting for you this summer in Jasper. Plan your trip at jasper.travel/summer.
Lovely.
That was a great hit with JD. He's the man.
It's always great.
Oh, yeah.
I wanted to ask him a few more questions.
But it took half an hour to get through the ones we had written down.
I just felt like the last 3 questions were, the previous one was our last. So I didn't want to like throw another one in. And then you just kept asking him the questions. Like, I'll get him next week. But, oh my goodness.
Yeah, I kind of took over at the end there because, Liam's coughing. I'm going to take I'm wearing a fresh lid today. Oh, boy. Do you need more water? I got you. Don't worry, buddy. And a little for Alex Plant maybe after because he's
muted right now, so you can cough in your mic all you want.
There you go.
Yeah, they didn't want to hear that.
I need more right away.
So warm.
Anyways, very good hit with our boy JD. Let's keep cruising along. We got a lot of stuff here I want to get to. First up, a little bit of a lineup report for our friends over at Douglas Mattress. If you want to sleep as good as I do every night, and buddy, I slept amazing last night. This whole weekend, I'm going to be sleeping good. Great value starting at only $599. Douglas Mattress is a locally owned and started Edmonton company. They began right here in Edmonton, and now over 250,000 Canadians sleep as good as I do on a Douglas. $599. You can get yours today at douglas.ca/nation, and it comes with their industry-leading 365-night trial to make sure you love it. And if you don't love it, can't see a world where you don't, but if you don't love it, they even donate it to local charities and give you free returns. They will pick it up from you for free. Shout out to Douglas Mattress. I love when a brand is like that. They're like, we're so confident you're going to love this stuff. We'll come get it back from you and give you your money back. 2 updates, 2 big ones from Chris Knobloch today. No Pickard, no Ekholm early in the series. He remains, quote, optimistic that both should be back at some point later in the series. Now, if Calvin Pickard returns, does he get another start? I don't know. Mattias Ekholm, what's the threshold? Like, everyone in the playoffs, to an extent, is playing hurt. With Ekholm and how well Stetcher's looked and how well Klingberg's looked, like, you obviously want Mattias Ekholm back. But at what point, and you can kind of see I put the loading bar on the whiteboard behind us today, but at what point does Ekholm become more valuable than a Stetcher or a Klingberg? Is it Ekholm at 70%? 80%, 90%, 95%. Like, where do you draw that line with him?
It's a really tough question. Aaron, I'm going to quickly send you over something I worked on before the show, and I forgot to send you. That would be great.
Cool.
But I really think the 11-7 approach is just a good idea to go with. And there's a player in particular that I would go off, and it would be Trent Frederick. I think Trent Frederick's the guy, if the Oilers were to go 11-7.
Doesn't kill.
His minutes have been dwindling down. Like, if you look at Game 4, he had a fight, so his minutes were low. He had 7 minutes 42 on the ice. He only played 9:28 the other day in that 1-0 game. Before that, his series high was 13:52, which was Game 1 of the series, where he actually played really well. I think he hit the post, had another great chance, snapped his stick over his head.
Jinx.
That was crazy. From there, though, his minutes were reduced, and then you look at a guy like Vasily Podkolzin, started the series, 7 minutes 47 on ice. Finished the series, basically doubling his time on ice, playing with Leon Draisaitl on a line that shut down Jack Eichel and these other wingers, playing 14 minutes and 22 seconds. Yeah. So I really wonder if that's, even if it's just a game, like, I'm not saying Frederick has to go out for the entire time, but take Frederick out for one game, hypothetically. you see how Ekholm is, and if he is whatever, you're saying 70, 80, 50%, whatever it may be, then you can decide if Stetcher or Klingberg are expendable to bring back Frederick. Here you go. Here's my breakdown.
Wow, you made a Google sheet.
I did. This is a Google sheet. They're free. Just need a Google account.
This segment not brought to you by Google Sheets.
No, this is Douglas Mattress.
So this is everyone's average time on ice.
Besides McDavid, Draisaitl,
and then how it breaks down. So Connor Brown, pretty consistent. Evander Kane, a little more up and down. But again, there's an OT game in there, or a couple of OT games in there that are probably the reasons for the spike. I think what we saw in overtime is they were running Kane out there maybe with McDavid and Draisaitl more would be my assumption on this. Henrique, again, pretty consistent. Kapanen, 2 games he played, consistent. Perry had some down moments, especially when you factor in the OT games. But again, I view that as almost like they want to make sure his batteries are always at a certain level here. So a little recharge, play him on the 4th line. Frederick, you are right. From game 1 to game 5, that's a pretty steady fall off. Janmark consistent. Podkolzin's the reverse. So again, they clearly are trusting one guy way more than the other ones out of this group. And it's Podkolzin who's earning that trust, and rightfully so.
Yeah, and I don't even think Frederick's playing bad.
Yeah.
I really don't. I just think he's kind of there. He's kind of what Adam Henrique was until the other day when he scored 2 goals.
Yeah.
Like, he just goes out there, and Henrique obviously a bit more. He's definitely more of a penalty killer. And Frederick's just, it's because he didn't play. He's trying to find a role right now, and the team's trying to not jam him in. I think he's got a spot on this team, and he's one of their best 12 forwards for sure. But, like, I think him coming out makes sense. Also, then you look at the press box, and it's Jeff Skinner, Arvidsson, Ty Emerson, and Trent Frederick.
Okay, so that's a great point, and it ties in really well. There was a couple of things Chris Knobloch talked about today at his quite long press conference that I wanted to hit on. Sound in the Room brought to you by Litco Law. Litco Law plays for Team U. They're Alberta-rooted, Edmonton-proud, and when it comes to fighting for everyday folks, they don't back down. When insurance companies play dirty, they drop the gloves. If you've been injured and you want to fight for your right to fair compensation, or if you've been denied your long-term disability benefits, contact Litco Law. Stop by their office right here in Edmonton or visit them online at litcolaw.com. Lawyers you love, they do exist. Go to litcolaw.com. Okay, there were 2, Boardsy. Can we play the second one first? Because that's where he talks about the lineup.
Yes, sir.
So here's Chris Knobloch talking about what goes into these lineup decisions and the fact he's been pushing all the right buttons.
Can you take me through your decision process when it comes to, in game when you switch lines, or the next game you'll switch lines, you brought in guys, in Pickard and then in Stetcher and Kapanen, and every decision you made seems to work. Obviously you trust your players, but what goes into that? How much of the past, or how much is it as a gut feel as a coach?
I think a lot of it has to do with, I don't know, there's many factors we think about. One is what happened in the regular season, who played well together, who has success. That obviously has a lot to do with it. Then we have to look at how the guys are playing at the moment. The previous game, was that line good? Do we need a shake-up? Do we need more speed to our lineup? And then, a lot of information I take is from what the players have been saying, like who they like playing with, who has success together, and what they feel that they need. And then obviously a lot of conversations within the coaches' room. What do they see? What do you think we need? Do we need more physicality? Do we need more defensive play? Do we need a shutdown line? I don't know. And then all those things that we kind of weigh and debate, and then finally you make that decision. And ultimately, when you make the decision, hopefully, obviously it works, but you've got the players that can come in and do that role. So it's not that we're asking guys to come in and do something that they haven't done, but when we've got a lot of good hockey players, we've got guys who aren't playing right now that we have a lot of faith in, but we've only pretty much got 11 or 12 forward spots every night, and usually it's 12. So there's usually a couple guys out. So I don't know. I think there's just a lot of things that we consider making those decisions.
Another thing I just wanted to maybe say is, like, back to the team building side of it. We know, and we learned last year, like, Evander Kane was playing for a while in the Stanley Cup playoffs when he was not good enough to play.
Yeah.
Corey Perry was ineffective a lot. I think there were a lot of guys in that Oilers lineup who went through some cold stretches. Obviously, like Fogle went through cold stretches. McLeod, all those guys went through cold stretches, even guys who are still on the team this year.
Yeah.
And the Oilers didn't have his, like, it was like, oh man, what are you going to do? Take out Fogle for Derek Ryan? And I feel like that went into their team building a little bit this year where, like you said, you could have a situation if they go 11-7 where Frederick, Skinner, and Arvidsson are in the press box. That feels intentional to me because they had a lot of depth and then they went out at the deadline and got more in a guy like Trent Frederick and they claimed Kasperi Kapanen on waivers. Like, I don't know. I think there was something that they learned from last year where they were like, you know what? Let's not get into either one of the two things we got into last year where you are playing players who are not at their best and then also you are playing guys who are at 60%. If you are not fully healthy, you said, I think there might be a little bit of that with Arvidsson as much as we're maybe not hearing about it. But it's like, okay, RV, you're clearly banged up and you're not giving us what the best you can. You're sitting because we have other guys who are chomping at the bit at 100% ready to go. It's a great problem to have, to be sitting here being like, man, do you really want to sit Trent Frederick after you gave up? Yeah, you can, because you'd be putting in Victor Arvidsson, who you gave a 2-year contract to.
I like going back to what Doobie said, one of his first appearances with the Martin Hansel.
Yeah.
Minnesota that year tries to, and then there's many examples, but he's the one he said is like, forced him into a lineup and forced him into a spot where like he was just not good enough to play. He didn't fit exactly what they needed in that spot.
But because they wanted to do a big...
prove the point of like, we made the right decision that just backfired him so heavily. Yeah. I think it shows a lot of character too, to the team and the players, obviously, but also the coaching staff to be willing to make those difficult decisions of being like, no, Arvidsson or Skinner, like, you're not good enough right now because of this, and this. Maybe it's an injury, maybe you're just not playing well enough, whatever it may be. But also, too, it's a credit to guys like Stetcher and Klingberg and Kapanen as well. But like, we have to make a poll being like, oh, should we take out Stetcher or Klingberg? Like, who would we do? Oh, Mattias Ekholm is our best defenseman. And it's because we want Ekholm to play, but also they've just been playing so well. It's crazy. And even guy like Jeff Skinner, obviously, like, who knows when we'll see him, if ever again. Max Jones is still on this team. I know he's nothing to shout about, but
Oil to the max?
He's had some moments, and again, similar to
he's generally pretty bad, though.
But the Kasperi Kapanen thing, where he came in to the lineup when the Oilers got him off waivers, he was great for like 5 games.
Yep.
Maybe a bit longer for Kapanen, but like, Max, Oil to the max. We can make T-shirts if he gets a goal.
Decent point. The other thing Chris Knobloch said that I found interesting, from a fan-based perspective and from a cover the team every day perspective, however you define that term for us, I suppose, I'm thrilled that they have a bunch of days off. This is great. I am fully relaxing. I golfed last night. I'm golfing tomorrow. Nice. Amazing stuff coming in my life. Are the Oilers relaxing? Chris Knobloch talked about that.
You get a few days off here. The balance between rest and just fine-tuning, or do you really... Until you know who your opponent is, do you just relax?
No, I don't think we have any time to relax. I think we're watching, obviously, very closely last night to see what was happening. And right now we're kind of preparing for 2 teams. We're not sure what's going to happen. And obviously, with the way the series is, we're leaning towards Dallas a little bit, but we're certainly getting prepared for Winnipeg also.
Leaning towards Dallas, getting prepared for Winnipeg. That series is going to Game 6, but the Edmonton Oilers are not relaxing. Credit to the NHL for the clips. Credit to Litco Law, proud sponsor of the show. Sound in the Room, brought to you by Litco Law. I have another clip I want to do. Usually when we do our one big take, it's you or I giving the take, right?
Okay. Did Chris Knobloch give one?
No, Chris Knobloch isn't a big hot take guy, unfortunately. But our one big take today is brought to you by Boston Pizza. Planning the parade, anybody? Why not? Manifest it. Believe it. This year, we bring it home. Last year, Edmonton was the last Canadian team standing. And you know what? There were some people across the country who got on the bandwagon. I say welcome them. If you know a Jets fan, a Sens fan, a Habs fan, and they say, you know what?
Canucks,
sure. And they say, you know what? I want you guys to win. Welcome them. Say yes, because we're going to be the team that breaks the drought. Shout out to our friends at Boston Pizza. I ordered 2 Boston pizzas yesterday and an order of wings after my round of golf. And I intentionally ordered way more than I needed to because I'm using that shit as leftovers this weekend.
Bachelor weekend for you.
Bachelor weekend for me means I'm eating leftover pizza the entire time.
What pizzas did you get, though?
I got the Royal Hawaiian, tremendous. And then I just got one because I like the way it reheats. I like the Great White North, the way that reheats.
Yeah,
it's a good
I would
reheater.
agree. The Royal Hawaiian, that's the one we got when we did the Mega
with the
Street.
drizzle on it.
That was so good. Spectacular.
So I had our friend.
I'm not gonna lie though. Sorry, I can't do those wings again. It's not because they didn't taste
They were too
good.
spicy.
It's because I'm just not that guy.
You're not that guy, pal.
No, you're man enough to admit it, though, which
Hands
makes you
up.
manly.
Yeah.
Our one big take for today is going to come from our friend Steve Peters. I had him on Daily Faceoff Live today, the show I host with Frank Saravalli, 10:30 or 10 o'clock Mountain every single weekday on the Daily Faceoff YouTube. And I couldn't let Petey go without asking him, Jets, Stars, who do the Oilers match up better against? Here's what he said. I don't want to let you go without asking you a little bit about the Edmonton Oilers. They punched their ticket to the conference final, third time in 4 years. When you look at the Oilers against Dallas or Winnipeg, is there one of those two that you think they match up better against?
Yeah, I think, and people aren't going to like this, I think they match up better against Dallas. And right now, the Edmonton Oilers are the best team in the Western Conference. I cannot believe I'm saying that, Tyler. This is something I've picked against the Edmonton Oilers in the last 6 series, and I'm not kidding. I've said they're going to be beat. Now, this is the best Edmonton Oilers have played in the last year and a half in the playoffs. They're defending better than they have. They're protecting the house better than they have. They're eliminating the opponent's rush better than they have through the neutral zone. This Edmonton Oilers team is no longer just Draisaitl and McDavid. This is a full team effort from 200 feet. This is an impressive team. And I did say that they're going to have to get back to Skinner, and they did. And he's been just okay. Man, Skinner's been lights out. Skinner's been the guy that they saw in the finals a year ago, and they needed that to happen. No offense to Calvin Pickard, but they needed Skinner if they want to get to the next level. I think this team right now, their way they can move the puck up the ice quickly, but more importantly, the way they're defending as a group of 5 in front of their goaltender makes them an incredibly dangerous team. Balanced scoring like they haven't seen before. You've got 4 lines they can roll out in any situation. This Edmonton Oilers team is for real, and I think they're going to be a threat to either team. The Winnipeg Jets, I think, may give them their hands full, and partly because of Hellebuck, but I think it is going to be Dallas, Edmonton in the Western Conference Finals.
Oilers in 5.
Oh my God, I had to submit my DFO picks today for like our look ahead series. So you got to do if the Oilers play the Jets or if the Oilers play the Stars, like oil and what? And I said 6 against Dallas, 5 against Winnipeg.
Guys, I could just watch that clip over again.
When
Was
he goes
fantastic.
the Edmonton Oilers, does he say best team in the Western Conference?
Sure does.
Best team in the league, Steve.
You heard?
I think they are. Like, I really do. Like, so I did some more stats yesterday. I have no graphic for this one.
That's okay.
So last season, going into the second round, did I tell you these already? No. Leon Draisaitl. So the Oilers had 46 goals at this point last season. Played 1 extra game, of course. Leon Draisaitl contributed to 52% of the goals going into the second round of the playoffs last year.
Damn.
Connor McDavid, 46. Evan Bouchard, 43. This year, McDavid now leads the team. He's contributed to 40% of the goals.
He's that far under 50%.
Draisaitl, 37% of the goals. Evan Bouchard at 28%. Last year, they had 4 defensemen in the top 10 of scoring. Bouchard, Kulak, Ekholm, and Ceci. This year, obviously, just Evan Bouchard he's third on the team, and everyone else is a forward. I think we did this yesterday where I said only one player was minus, and it's Jeff Skinner.
Well,
like, it's crazy. Those numbers are unbelievable. They scored 3 less goals this season, by the way.
Can I give you maybe like a little follow-up to on some numbers we talked about yesterday? So yesterday we talked about how with McDavid and Draisaitl off the ice, the Oilers are just playing such better hockey. Last year's playoffs, this is every round of the playoffs at 5v5, okay? With McDavid and Draisaitl on the ice, the Oilers outscored the other team 9-4 with both of them on the ice. And then with McDavid on, it was 19-10. With just Draisaitl, they actually got outscored. But with both of them off the ice, the Oilers only got 45% of the shot attempts, and they got outscored 21-12. -9 with both Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl off the ice and only getting 45% of the shot attempts. You want this year's numbers?
Yes.
16-9. They're +7. That is a 16-goal swing already. And not to say it couldn't get worse, but what reason do you have to believe it's worse? The shot attempts are at 48%, but they are out shooting the other team, and the expected goals for at 55%. I mean, the numbers are unbelievable. And then the other side of it, too, with both McDavid and Draisaitl on the ice, they've still been just as good. They're +4. They've outscored the other team 10-6. So, again, Dallas, I just don't think is much. And, I mean, here's a hot take.
Here we go. Second one.
Remember when we looked at that Vegas blue line before the series and we were like, holy shit.
I remember Doug saying we needed a miracle to win.
I remember that as well.
Yeah.
But I remember looking at that Vegas blue line and being like, they have Hannafin on one pair and Theodore on the other and Pietrangelo on the other and all these name recognizable guys. And it's like, oh my God, they might just run our show. And how is Edmonton going to get goals with one of these elite defensemen always on the ice? I feel like we're doing that a little bit with this Dallas forward group, where you're like Jamie Benn and Jason Robertson on the third line, like Dadonov's on the fourth line. Oh my God. Let me give you the numbers. In these playoffs, 5v5, when the Stars' two best players, who are undoubtedly Roope Hintz and Mikko Rantanen in these playoffs, with Hintz and Rantanen on the ice, they are outscoring the other team 7-2. With just Hintz on the ice, it's 0-0 at 5-on-5. No one scored on either direction. With just Rantanen, it's 4-2. So if one of Rantanen or Hintz are on the ice at 5-on-5 in these playoffs, and this includes last night's game, the goals are 11-4 for the Dallas Stars, +7. With one of Hintz or Rantanen on the ice at 5-on-5, 11-2 or 11-4, +7. With both of them off, they're getting caved 17-8. Just 46% of the shot attempts, 45% of the actual shots, 48% of the expected goals. So it ain't bad luck.
Look, like Dallas has been shut out twice in this Winnipeg series. They're up in the series, I get it, but like they're a very, very interesting team. I'm not a believer in them. If you go back and look at shows in the regular season, I wasn't really a believer of them then either. I think they're a little bit fraudulent. I don't want to get ahead of ourselves, of course. We still have to know if we play them, but I really don't think it matters. Like I think Maynard asked it in the chat. Like, do you line up Draisaitl next to the Rantanen line? It sounds like if you shut down that line, you might sweep them
straight up.
Like, and that might sound arrogant. I honestly don't.
And we don't want to get that high, but
I don't think they will sweep them, obviously. But the way this team is playing, like a Knobloch and his adjustments, like. I just think they're unbeatable. I really do.
Okay.
To that stat, I say, who's the two-man team now? Okay?
Well, right. Okay. And when it was and you never hear anyone in the national media going, "Oh, Dallas is a two-man team right now."
No.
Or if they do,
talk about their depth.
Or if they do, they sing the praises of Mikko Rantanen, and that's it. Whereas when it was the Oilers, it's so funny how I was always like, how long can Connor and Leon keep doing this? How long can Connor and Leon keep doing this? Never get that with Dallas. Anyways, a couple of poll questions for our friends at Sherwood Ford. The Giant Nation Valet service ensures you never need to visit the dealership again for your routine car maintenance. Shout out to our friends at Sherwood Ford, the Giant, right in the heart of Sherwood Park. When will we get our next Sherwood Ford Giant game day? Honestly, I have no idea. The first poll question, if Ekholm comes back, what do you do? Do you sit Frederick, Klingberg, Stetcher, or other? Stetcher gets the most votes, not the majority. 39% said Stetcher, 15% Klingberg, 23% said Frederick, another 23% said other. I'll throw this one in there.
I'm surprised by those results. But again, at the end of the day, like I'm not sitting here saying that Stetcher needs to be in the lineup. I think he's played well, but we're also maybe still 3 games away from seeing this decision, and it might just work itself out, which it probably will. Like, I'm sure the other people will vote for with someone like Kapanen.
Yeah, that's fair. And there is, I think, a bit of a case for Kapanen. I think Mulick maybe threw him in there. Mr. Burns said, I've got people on Twitter telling me I'm crazy for saying Dallas doesn't have depth and the Oilers do. Anti-Oilers bias is insane. OJ says, I don't think Winnipeg has the scores to beat Edmonton either. Hellebuck would have to steal the series. I agree. Like, Winnipeg doesn't have the horses to keep up with us offensively. And if Hellebuck's going to keep being Hellebuck on the road, granted, if Hellebuck keeps being Hellebuck on the road, they're done in 6 tomorrow night. Unfortunate. But if Winnipeg were to get through, Hellebuck on the road in Edmonton, I mean, I don't know. I don't know how nervous I am about him. Look at these splits, man.
Insane.
This is crazy. I think this was before last night's game, so his home numbers are actually, or the Jets' home numbers are going to be even better. Which is wild. They'd be 24-13, and their power play actually scored twice, so their power play would be really, really high as well. But the Jets are just such a different beast at home versus on the road. Sean H. should have added a don't care to your poll, but 54% of you early on here saying you'd rather have Dallas than Winnipeg, and I'm sure there are some of you, yes, that are saying you do not care. Let's continue along with the program. Actually, while we're on the topic of the hockey and everything that's going on this weekend, let's give everybody their menu for this weekend. It's brought to you by Ninja Krispy and the 4-in-1 portable glass air fryer.
Meet the Ninja Krispy portable cooking system. The power of a full-sized air fryer in the palm of your hand.
It's an all-in-one system that includes 4-quart, 6-cup tempura glass containers and 2 storage lids. It is thermal shock resistant and can go from frozen to crispy in minutes. You can even cook a personal-sized meal in 7 minutes in the 6-cup container. Max Crisp, bake, air fry, re-crisp. You can prep, cook, and store anything from crispy favorites to one-dish meals with the Ninja Krispy. Visit their website in the link in the description and stay tuned for a chance to win a Ninja Krispy. I think we're doing that at the end of the month, by the way. I saw someone asking me the other day, Go to the link in our description. 2 elimination games on tap this weekend in the NHL. First off, I love that the Jets won for a handful of reasons. One, you get a hockey game tomorrow night. That is good stuff for me. I like having more playoff hockey. We're getting to that point in the playoffs where it's like, all right, these series can go late. I want to keep watching good, entertaining hockey. Tonight, though, 6 o'clock, Toronto and Florida. Dun, dun, dun. Leafs fans are already on the golf course, whatever you want to say. They have wrapped it up. They're not even watching tonight. I think. Can I give you a stat? I looked this one up myself. Didn't even steal it from anybody.
Spreadsheet?
No spreadsheet. In the last 3 playoffs, the Toronto Maple Leafs have lost by 4 or more goals 3 times. On 3 separate occasions, they have gotten, call it blown out, 4 or more goals.
Next game?
They've won the next game every single time.
Because it's the playoffs in game. Like, I remember didn't the Oilers beat the Ducks 7-1?
Yeah.
And then lost 2-0 in game 7.
Didn't the Oilers?
It's one game.
Yeah.
It matters the same as if you got scored on with 0.4 seconds left. I was fired up this morning. I've been texting Nick Alberga, host of Leafs Morning Takes, just going off of, dude, why is your fan base so negative? And him as a leader of that fan base, got to lead from the front, damn it. I said, we were down 0-3 in the Cup final, and I had way more optimism, confidence, or just positive vibes than they do. It's a 3-2 series. You won the division as the Toronto Maple Leafs, and all he said is they didn't show up. They're done. He also said they're prepping for 97. Classic Alberga. I just don't get, you have all offseason and summer to be negative, which we know they will do, and they will do their thing where they destroy the team, put them over the coals. You're still in it right now. Yeah. I say to you guys all the time, sports are fun. You be optimistic or you be pessimistic. It's a choice. Plenty of time to be negative in the offseason. I do not get it. Go Panthers.
Yeah. I mean, the Oilers scored 18 goals in 3 games on Bobrovsky and the Panthers in the Cup final. Then game 7 and it's like that momentum the momentum doesn't carry over, especially when you're going city to city like this, especially when you have extra days off. Like, I don't know, man. Leafs fans are just totally punting on this, and it's stunning to see that lack of belief. Granted, 9 straight years of your team kicking you in the junk might mess you up a little bit.
I did mention it's easy for me to say that from my cushy Western Conference Finals seat.
And being a fan of a team whose star players always deliver for them, who always mount comeback victories, who always come through in big overtime series moments, yes, I know. It's easy for us to be like, why aren't you believing in your team? But we aren't trying to believe in Mitch Marner, I suppose.
I just think they need to grow up.
They're in their late 20s. Right?
Oh, no, sorry, the fans.
Oh, the fans,
The players, whatever.
Yeah, I thought you were saying the players need to grow up. I'm like,
no, they've grown up.
They've shown us their stripes.
Yeah, but I would still believe. I think they'll win tonight. I really do.
I honestly really do too.
Belief.
Yeah, why not? I also think the odds are crazy. I know JD talked about it a little bit, but
I have a friend. His name's Matthew.
Shout out Matthew.
Big Leafs fan.
Not Matt.
But also, yeah, his name's Matt. But I call him Matthew. Big Leafs fan. Loves the Leafs. But he's on the Oilers one too. He's like, I want the Oilers to win. So I'm with him. I want the Leafs to do well. For his sake.
Boston Pizza.
I'm all in on the Leafs getting to the conference final.
Yeah, no further. That's
no
fine.
Further.
I want home ice advantage when we get to the cup final.
Yeah, and that only happens well, that is the other thing too, is if Florida wins tonight, that guarantees that if we're not getting ahead of ourselves, if Edmonton were to make the cup final, they would have home ice advantage, which would obviously be electric.
Another elimination game tonight in the Western Hockey League. The Medicine Hat Tigers could win the championship tonight. Take it. They're up 3.
Gavin McKenna back?
He should be back. Yeah. Sounds like Caden Lidstrom will be back too. That team is incredible. That's Willie Desjardins, I believe is how you say his name, right? The former Canucks
Desjardins.
Desjardins, sorry. He runs that organization. Their entire team is crazy. And they're not just first round picks. They haven't acquired a ton of guys. They just drafted them. Caden Lidstrom was a 3rd-round pick for them.
Crazy.
And he went 4th overall.
You know what?
Draft.
Guys like that aren't falling once you get scouting in that league. Tell you that for free.
Right. You're right. He's got Thor Lifferton. Can't wait for him.
I have NBA thoughts, but we should do Bet365 first.
Yeah, since we're kind of on the topic, we should do Bet365. Shout out to Bet365, an official partner of the Stanley Cup playoffs. Whatever you want to bet on, whether it's game lines, props, totals, money line. You can even bet on futures like series winners, conference champions, and of course, the Stanley Cup champion. Whatever your bet, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Download the app, get in on the game. Must be 19 or older. The Edmonton Oilers are now the favorites, or I should say, are once again the favorites to win the Stanley Cup at plus 225. I would not touch that. I think they're going to be underdogs in enough road game that you could probably win enough bets just getting them on the money line strategically a few times. But
just wait for them to potentially go down 1-0 in the series.
Connor McDavid's now the favorite to win the Conn Smythe Trophy once again at plus 375.
Interesting.
That is interesting.
I don't know if I would pick him.
For the Oilers, I would.
To win the Conn Smythe?
Right now? I mean, who else would you pick?
Pickard. I actually don't know. I think their odds is playing so well. But either way, go on.
All right.
NBA, Knicks or Celtics? Who does it?
Oh, Knicks.
Knicks will eventually. Yeah, it's at the Garden tonight. I'll say the Knicks win. They're favorites, 2.5 point favorites.
Pacers, Knicks, Eastern Final is pretty cool.
That's a throwback right there.
Who's the West? I think one's going to 7, right?
Nuggets,
Thunder going to 7.
And then
T-Wolves won.
They won.
T-Wolves beat Golden State. Also, the NBA doesn't reseed.
Dude, the NBA is a joke. It is this league. Ryan Whitney says it all the time, and I love it. I watch basketball all the time, but I know when it's a joke product going out there.
What do you mean they don't reseed?
Okay, so my dad yesterday, we're sitting there waiting to pick up some pizzas after we golfed, and he was like, "Hey, you follow the NBA?" I'm like, "Yeah, like loosely." And he's like, "Can you explain the seeding to me?" And I'm like, "Well, what? They do it the same as the NHL." And he's like, "No, second round of the playoffs in the West, you have the second round of the playoffs. You have the 6-seeded T-Wolves playing the 7-seeded Warriors, the 1-seeded Thunder playing the 4-seed Nuggets." What kind of league are they running?
What's the point of winning in the regular season? Like, I thought that's what you're going for, is to get that.
Counterpoint, would it have mattered?
I mean, I'm sure the Thunder would have much rather played the Steph Curry-less Golden State Warriors.
Yeah, but didn't he get
I'm sure the Nuggets would much rather play Golden State or the Timberwolves than
weren't they injured wasn't Curry injured in the series?
He was, but I mean,
but Thunder, I don't think it mattered because they had 68 wins anyway. Denver had 50, Minnesota had 49, and the Warriors had 48.
I get what you're saying, but the bracket thing is still stupid.
It is weird, but
and
I
know
think
the NHL, I guess, does it too, but...
Did you guys see Boston Celtics? That they did a great thing. They set up a camera right outside TD Garden for fans to send a message to Jason Tatum. Oh, it was nice, dude. It was so nice. If we love you, we're with you.
Anyone would have thought he ripped somebody else's Achilles with the criticism he was getting online.
Yeah,
for
JT that's unfair. It's unfair. Good for him.
Like, again, I'm a casual when it comes to the NBA. People are saying, why are we talking about basketball? Playoff basketball actually is pretty electric.
That's my bad, too. That's my bad.
But seeing the Knicks go on a little run here, I like Jalen Brunson. The Garden being like alive is always cool with all like the stars who are there. So, I don't know. I'm also rooting for OKC because they've got a couple of good Canadian boys.
Pascal Siakam's on the Pacers. Once a Raptor, always a Raptor.
That's fair. There's good storylines on. OG Anunoby on the Knicks.
Yeah.
Where's Fred VanVleet playing now?
He's on the Rockets. They got bounced.
Okay, he signed that, didn't he?
Yeah, he signed.
We got a super chat.
Oh, we got a super chat from Mikhail and Dry, who said barn burner on
Boardsy
ONE.
bars on ONE.
Oh, Boardsy bars. That's not what that means in my game. One is too far. Who do we face, Jets or Stars? In the meantime, hit some pars until next pre-gaming. Have some daytime Boardsy bars. Hey, that's a good one.
He's unreal.
It's a good one.
He's the best.
It's a good one. Good bars, Mikhail and Dry. You're a very talented man. What else do we still have to do today?
What's trending?
What's trending? Our favorite, our peak segment.
It's my favorite segment.
It really is. The smile on your face when you know we're doing a What's Trending that day, you really can't wipe it off.
No.
It's brought to you by Garage Superstore, which is also Liam's favorite ad read for us to do. Garage upgrades and accessories made easy. They've got everything you need to organize, transform, and maximize your space, including 6 full-size garages at their showroom so you can walk through real setups. Polyasperatic floor coatings. Nailed that.
I
Just
said that one.
Stepped up, didn't even think about it, and said polyasperatic floor coatings and rubber pavings that give you stylish and long-lasting results. Shop online or in-store, 3407 Calgary Trail, Northwest, South Edmonton, garagesuperstore.ca. Listen, the Garage Superstore people either have a tremendous sense of humor and love this, or they are livid with the quality of ad reads we're giving them.
We'll find out when they renew or don't renew.
You can love or hate our ad reads. I can guarantee you'll love what you get from our friends at the Garage Superstore. I have a take. It's outside of hockey.
In what's trending?
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, they're always trending, but the NFL schedule release videos,
yeah,
I'm over them. They were funny for 3 years, and now it's just like, just send out the schedule.
The one where Tyreek Hill got pulled over by the Coast Guard was hilarious.
That was funny. Good.
And then they deleted it, and then Tyreek was like, that was kind of funny.
Because it is funny.
It is funny. Not everything
Everyone's
needs to be so
soft.
serious. It's like the Flames and Canucks fans who are like, the Oilers listening to Pink Pony Club is homophobic.
Well,
and it's like,
is.
good point. embrace debate. But it's like, you know,
Pull up.
just like not everything needs to be like
Anything?
a controversy.
You don't
Yeah.
need to stand on your soapbox for everything.
Oh.
Come on,
touch
laugh.
grass. It's unbelievable. I just couldn't care less about half this stuff. I have way too many things going on in my life to be like, wow, is this song homophobic? No, it's a song and they like listen to it.
Yeah.
Like, come
Once
on.
again, you can react
Hey.
like to positive, negative thing. You can either let it fucking
By the
ruin your
way-
day or laugh.
Edmonton's also the city where Pride Tape was made.
Yep.
And the Oilers were one of the first teams to like
Yeah.
start doing that at practice. I think Andrew Ferentz was the guy who
Yep.
kind of pushed it too. Saw him the other day, but whatever. Those lames.
Anyways, how did we get here from the NFL schedule release videos that I hate? I don't know, but it's dumb, and I think they should just release the schedule normally. Point 2, Liam's Beaver.
Yeah. So this is two what's trending.
Careful the way
actually.
you say that.
So the Beaver, my friend,
This is
my
so
friend Connor, who lives in Fort St. John, he was telling me about this, and he's like, when I drive by, I'll take a picture for you, and there it is. There's a picture of me many years ago with the Beaver as well. When I have my thumbs up, maybe we'll get that on a different segment of what's trending. But this was really cool, and also reminded me and inspired me of one of our early summer content ideas, Tyler. Aaron, if you don't mind pulling up the map for me, if you've got a quick second here.
Beaver Lodge is 5 hours away
Yeah, it's very far.
via car.
It
of
also
course.
got flooded there once. That there's a picture on the interweb. I'm sure someone could find it of someone skidooing around the Beaver. Like, it got pretty bad out there. But I really think we should do the Summer Lodge Statues tour, Tyler. I think we have to do this.
So we do the sausage in Mundair.
We'll do them all. We
The
got
egg in Vegreville.
Do you get the map? You get my link, Aaron?
Did you send?
I emailed
send
you
me
a
map?
link. There's
Oh, yeah, it's that one. Yep.
yeah.
yep,
There's
here, I'll pull it up.
also the Mallard, of course, in Andrew. The chuck wagon, I believe it is. Glendon. That sound right to you?
The thing in the spaceship in St. Paul.
UFO landing.
UFO
pad.
landing pad, sorry.
The world's largest mushroom in Vilna.
Vilna's got the mushroom.
Yeah, Vilna's the
I'm
mushroom.
out on whichever one did the Dorito or the Cheeto thing, though.
Oh, yeah, I don't
Is
know.
this it, Liam?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that'll work. Look at
Okay.
this.
Oh, the dinosaur. I'd go to Drumheller.
Like, come on. People want to see this.
It would take.
Look at this bug.
Yeah, but if you go, I think if you go up, Aaron, there's a map. If you click on that, compiled road trip. Oh no, that's not it.
Jeff Skinner says, Tyler, come see the
Go
wheat
down.
statue in St. Albert.
Oh, there we go. There we go. Now we don't have to go south.
no,
we don't
we'll
need to go
stay
into
north.
enemy territory.
Well, Drumheller, I kind of wouldn't mind.
Okay, we can do drum, but I don't think we need to go further than that. We can. I don't mind.
So there's a whole bunch of logistical issues with this thing.
Like the internet,
Internet, we'd probably have to pre-tape every show and just do it on an SD card.
unless
We
it's
would
a way.
probably need a hotel partner to make it like fiscally possible.
Yeah,
Because we can't just like, if we're going to go to Drumheller, I'm not just driving there doing the show and then driving home.
No, we can stay the day.
And I want to golf if we're going all these spots.
Great Drumheller spot to golf. So I think that'd be a great idea. Click on one, Aaron. See what we got.
How far away should I go?
We do it.
Stay in the red. Stay in the red.
Okay.
Let's pick. Let's
You have
pick
to wrap
that
up
one.
the show at some point.
Ah, we're good.
Largest wagon wheel and pickaxe.
And Fort
World's
Cinnabon.
largest wagon wheel and pickaxe.
Wow, where is that?
Fort Cinnabon.
That's
Never heard of it. What else we got? What's on the right?
what we got here. Let's
Want to head to the border? We could stay with our rules analyst Josh if we head
Yeah.
out towards
middle
Marwayne.
of Alberta Bear.
I've never heard of that one in Swan Hills.
Giant blue heron.
Barhead.
In Aaron.
Whoa.
Oh, wow.
All right, we're
I
going
think
there.
we're
Oh, the heron is named Aaron?
There you go.
That one would be cool.
Mushrooms.
I'm in on the Vilna one.
Yeah, the Vilna would be sweet.
World's largest mallard. duck.
See, we could knock off a few here in one day.
Yeah, like you could pre-tape a couple of things
Giant
here.
baseball
Yeah.
bat.
I'm out.
No, I don't know if I want to go sit there for a day.
Dragonfly.
Wabaman? Was it? No, Wabaman, whatever that was. Yeah, there's a variety of options.
We have a lot of places that we really want. We've had this idea for a couple of years now.
Yeah, and I just think this year could be the year.
Well,
UFO landing
Although
pad?
we have very busy
Yeah.
summers, and there's probably about 3 weeks in the summer we would actually have time to do this.
well, that's what I was going to say is that the Oilers are going on another deep run.
Yeah.
We are usually pretty burnt out by the end of those deep runs. Not that I'm complaining about our job at all, but like the summer is kind of our makeup time.
You guys don't want to spend more time together every day?
Well, it's just to be a couple of days. I'm not doing it on the weekend.
But I'm saying like we're staying in hotels if we do this.
Vickerville's
Liam, I'll
only
come
an
with you.
hour
I'll
away.
do it with you.
We'll do.
I'm not against doing it.
No,
I
you're
love
out.
the
No, you're
idea.
out.
Yeah, but
I'm just saying I like thinking of things logistically.
we're good. We have 3 of us. 1 of us could drive. You can sleep.
3 of you guys doing the mega stream together.
Lance, you in?
We'll do the mega stream on the road.
On the road. Sherwood Ford would probably love this. I mean, there's a way for us to make it happen.
Almost.
We're dreamers.
Hey, don't let your dreams be dreams.
Yeah, we could camp.
Oh, fuck no, I don't camp.
You don't camp. That's
don't
the least
camp.
surprising thing
Yeah.
I've ever
I was
heard.
gonna say, well, I
that's-
don't
I was going to say, you're not even willing to drive home from Drumheller in one day.
No, hell no. Good
It's not
Lord.
even that far.
Isn't it like 3 hours?
It's like 2.5.
Shorter than or longer than a flight to Winnipeg. We covered earlier.
Winnipeg's further than.
Yeah, I was gonna say you were so irritated at the idea of having to go to Winnipeg for the Oilers in the Western Conference
Yeah.
Final, but you're like, we should go to Vilna.
I don't even know what Vilna is. How far away is
Like, if
Vilna?
you think there's nothing to do
Yeah.
in Winnipeg,
You said there was nothing to do in Winnipeg, so let's go to these small
There's
towns.
You want
wanna-
a giant mushroom?
yeah, let's go to a slow pitch tournament in Bavallon.
I don't
I'm sure
know
the
what that
pub's
is.
open late.
There'd be great spots out there.
Tyler, you're a princess. Okay.
Says you, Jeff Skinner.
Oh, speaking of which, happy
Oh, it's
birthday,
his
Jeff Skinner.
Jeff. Happy
birthday,
birthday,
Jeff Skinner.
Corey. Happy birthday.
I don't know anyone else. All right, okay, we do have to wrap up here.
All right. There you go, guys.
Did we do?
You should give some love to RV Easy, and then we can get out of here.
Oh, they were our last one this week. That's correct.
Oh, and if you haven't
Oh, okay.
yet.
Well, there's the partner that we need to do this with.
Oh, yeah, that one.
Okay. I will camp if you can get me something good from RV Easy. Shout out to our friends at RV Easy. Your motorhome or travel trailer isn't just for getaways. It's a moneymaker on wheels. I mean, yes. Put me in a good motorhome and we are cruising.
Glamping.
Glamping. Most RVs sit parked in the driveway with RV Easy. You can rent out your motorhome or travel trailer and earn over $20,000 this year. Founded, owned, and operated by Canadians, RV Easy takes care of everything, including full insurance coverage provided for every rental. Choose when to rent, set your own pricing, list your RV today at RVEasy.com. That's RVEZY.com. RV Easy, rent your RV, make money easy. That could work.
If you haven't yet, go vote for Arjun Atwal.
Yes, can we put the link in the chat?
Yeah. let me
Go
get
vote
it.
for Arjun. And if you don't, we hate you.
No, I'm willing to say that.
Yeah,
No, I'm willing.
I stand on business.
There you go.
I don't even know him.
I'm getting you
But
right.
he's a fan of us.
He's a
I'm a
great
fan
guy.
of him.
Yeah. Put the link in the YouTube so everyone go vote for Arjun today. Then tomorrow, set a reminder. Oh, you know what? For the people who listen to this, like on speakers around their house and stuff. Hey, Google, set a reminder for tomorrow at 2:00 to go vote for Arjun Atwal. This will get someone.
Brilliant.
This will get someone.
Can you vote every day?
I think you can vote every day.
Oh, that's good. I'm going to vote right now. And
All right.
you can do that. Hopefully he wins.
I'm also going to vote.
We will
right
help
now.
him. We will push him across the line.
We will. We will get this done.
I did it. I voted.
Amber's on her bachelorette. Oilers don't play. I golfed yesterday. I'm golfing on Saturday. Then me and the boys. You were invited to this and you decided not to come. Steak and whiskey night
I'm farming tomorrow. I didn't know I was invited.
was in the group chat that I'm not in. I'm not even in that group chat, and I know it was in the group chat.
Whoops, daisies. I played my first soccer game of the season yesterday. I just missed the first 3 weeks.
Oh yeah,
Scored 2 goals.
of course you did. You're a natural. 10-8.
Yeah.
You miss having Connor Nickel in net. Outdoor soccer, hey?
These nets are sizes 11 on 11, but we play 7 on 7, and the field is tiny.
Oh, so
Is
you
Connor a
can-
goalie?
Oh yeah,
He
he's so
strikes
good.
me as a good keeper.
Yeah,
You like
He's
what I said there,
unreal.
Liam?
he's got
as well?
swagger.
He's keeper.
got a
I'm
touch.
having a diaper party this weekend.
Ooh,
My buddy is having a kid, so
congrats to him.
I also may have bought adult diapers just because. If joke's there, joke's there. Who knows? Love you all.
All right. Matthew, is there a way to prevent these ads from coming into the live show? Yeah, you need to get YouTube Premium. Like, we have no control over how YouTube gives you
Sorry,
ads.
Matthew.
They're your cookies. Or something.
Sorry, Matthew. My
I've
Google
got it
said I
set
can't
as
vote for
conservative
it.
as possible for ads, so it's
Yeah.
hey.
There's nothing more we can do. All right. That's a wrap on today's edition of the show. Monday, we might not know the Oilers' opponent by Monday. We are going to do a show on Monday, though. It'll probably be a quick one. Might even be an at-home show, but we are going to give you guys some Holiday Monday content coming up. But that's a wrap on today's edition of the show, everybody. Have yourselves a tremendous long weekend. Be smart, be responsible, and we'll see you right back here Monday, noon Mountain. Oil up!